Welcome back to Little White Books, the unofficial story of the Mr. Men, told in their own words. If you're new here, please go back to Episode 1. To recap, Mr. Tickle recalled his earliest memories and the arrival of the first Mr. Men books.
Just call me Tickle.
While Mr. Nosey suggested Happy may be hiding a dark secret.
And I hear Mr. Happy say, I killed someone.
The story of Mr. Miserable's disappearance cast a long shadow over what really happened at the very beginning.
He was a snake. I saw through his big happy smile and sunshine complexion.
I need gravy. One moment. Gravy. I think it's under one of these magazines here.
First up, this is Mr. Greedy.
Mr. Snow was all about fairness and shared responsibility. But Happy, he knew how to nudge people in just the right way. The idea spread quickly. We'd vote for a leader. We were still figuring out how to work together, so it was a bit of fun. But it didn't end well, no. There were 14 of us in the first wave. A vote for Happy didn't just mean voting for him. It meant you got Tickle and Nosey as part of the deal. Happy was the face of it, but Tickle smoothed the way, and Nosey was digging up everything there was to know about everyone. That kind of team was hard to compete with. Small, on the other hand, had Mr. Snooty in his corner. Snooty liked to think he was already in charge. But for once, he put his weight behind someone else. It was clever. Small had connections to humans and wizards. So, obviously, Daydream backed him too. Daydream, of course, made out of cloud, couldn't run. Same goes for Snow. I mean, magical Mr. Men wouldn't be fair, right? And there was Topsy-Turvy. He was strange. Weird enough to make everyone a bit nervous. Mr. Strong was straightforward, rational, and honest to a fault.
I thought it was a good choice, because I believe in strong leadership. Happy did too, but our approach was very different.
He didn't think about politics or alliances, you know? To him, being leader was logical. He was the strongest, the most dependable. And here's the kicker. He didn't get a book like the rest of us. That made him feel special, like he was destined for something bigger. Of course, that kind of confidence didn't sit well with everyone. Bump had heart, but no confidence. Sneeze was great, but had geography against him, stuck at the North Pole. Mr. Silly was all about nonsense land, and Messy... No one wanted him in charge. He smelled like the toilets at the bus station.
Vote for Happy. Vote for Strong. Even if you vote for Small, you can't go wrong.
This is Mr. Small.
Really had no interest in becoming a leader myself. It was nice that others thought I could be, and I felt welcomed and loved. Until the election, that's when everything, shall we say, changed.
And this is Mr. Bump.
I expect some people think that was all Mr. Happy pulling strings and setting himself up for power, but it really wasn't. It was all Mr. Strong being his typical self. Have you ever heard of small man syndrome? He must have had small Mr. Men syndrome. I don't even know if that's something you can catch. Maybe antibiotics?
So a size versus credibility thing. What did he do about it?
He was following me around in case I bumped into a tree so he could forage for birds' nests in the hope of finding eggs.
And the eggs made him grow bigger?
Well, I guess so, but really Greedy was right. We didn't care how big he was.
And this is Mr. Strong himself.
Greedy was twice my size, so my strength didn't matter. To Happy, both Small and I were threats, so I knew I had to get bigger. I focused on eating as many eggs as I could, turning my garden into a chicken farm to bulk up. But even then, I couldn't get enough. Home Farm wouldn't sell me what I needed. It was a problem I couldn't solve fast enough.
Mr. Strong's cracking eggs in the heat of the night. Chasing that crow, yeah, he's hungry for the fight. Whiling and pie, he's desperate to grow.
Bump, I'm trying to understand the circumstances that led you to having an election.
It was Mr. Silly's fault. He started going on about how the King of Nonsense Land is so great because he's human and does all his admin for him. Then he suggested we should get a human leader too. Can you imagine Mr. Happy hearing that? Bet he was spitting feathers.
All of it sounds all a bit silly.
Oh, it was. But Silly and Happy were still good mates back then, so maybe Happy pulled him aside and had a quiet word. Silly came back in and said, let's have a size competition. He reckoned the biggest one of us should be in charge. I don't know if he'd worked out some sort of height and width equation or what, but it was classic Silly being silly.
Oh no, hang on. That wasn't that silly. Small and strong were the smallest.
Exactly, and with that, everyone's eyes went straight to Greedy.
Let's vote. Let's vote. There's a new wave coming, so let's vote more. Mr. Men are nearly heard, so let's vote.
We gave ourselves a few days and split off into 3 campaign teams. We put up posters, went door to door, got special rosettes. It was really good fun.
This is Mr. Sneeze.
We held an election because the second wave, 12 new Mr. Men, were coming. Happy and Mr. Snow had secret plans, but I wasn't allowed to be part of it.
I asked Bump if he knew about these secret plans.
Honestly, I didn't have a clue, but Snow knew. He organised the whole thing. He told us they'd be on the bus at 4 p.m, so we all gathered at the bus stop to meet them. There was going to be this big celebration at Snooty's house afterwards.
Oh, you're the first person to mention Snooty. Was he popular? Wasn't he really rude?
Oh, not at all. Snooty was very popular. He's nothing like Mr. Mean. He knows how to spend his money. And his house? Absolutely stunning. You know, he was good pals with Small back then too.
Hello, Mr. Snooty. Would it be possible to arrange an interview?
How dare you call this number?
Step off the bus and take a look. Smiles and laughter everywhere you look. Make new friends, come join the fun. The Mr. Men for everyone.
It was this gorgeous spring day, sunny and warm. The first one off was Mr. Forgetful. He had to squeeze himself through the bus door, and when he finally popped onto the pavement, oh, he was enormous. Then Greedy clocked what this meant. He was off the hook for the Who's the Biggest Mr. Man competition, and just roared with laughter. That set us all off. Poor Mr. Forgetful, he didn't have a clue why we were all laughing.
Everyone was there. They were all clapping and smiling and singing. I didn't know what they were all laughing at, so I just joined in, as you do.
Hi, Forgetful. Do you remember those early days and the election you all had?
Yeah, I do, but only because I won it.
Wow, that's funny. What happened?
We were all in Mr. Snooty's banquet hall, or ballroom. Not sure. Mr. Happy came up to me at first, really friendly. Then Mr. Nosey, who wanted to know what I remember from getting off the bus.
What did you say to him?
I just said, nice to meet you too, and then I walked off. Mr. Impossible was doing some lasso trick. Very impressive too. And Mr. Noisy showing off his banjo playing. Ding, 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 ding. It was a proper party.
Would you say you bonded with anyone?
I immediately became friends with Mr. Chatterbox and Mr. Muddle because they were brand new, just like me.
Oh, very nice to meet you. I don't think I've even met anyone before. Have you, Mr. Muddle?
I've no idea. Who are you?
We don't need a leader, let's eat. What even is democracy? Let's eat. Can I vote for Mr. Greedy or just eat? I might try some vegetables, let's eat. Raise your hand, where's Mr. Greedy going? Let's eat.
Mr. Snow gets up on this little stage and explains how to vote. He says the rules, be a first wave person to help the new Mr. Men, like me, settle in. We had little bits of paper and those tiny little pencils you get in the bookies.
So, back then, do you think if someone said to you, you should vote for Strong, did you know who they meant?
Not a clue. But Slow said something like, due to a change in circumstances, Mr. Strong is no longer eligible because he was technically second wave. Somehow there had been a mix-up, and it turns out I was now number 14 and not him. He was furious. Threw the entire table through the window. Smash! There was bits of glass all over the place, him and the bleeding food and everything.
Greedy came to the rescue. He announced something like, with the vote suspended,
we revert to our plan A. Mr. Silly's size competition. Mr. Forgetful is officially the new leader of the Mr. Men.
New leader, big cheer, tension broken, job done.
It's very funny. This is not funny.
So now, to celebrate, let's eat.
But I missed the rest because I accidentally sat on Mr. Small.
So what did you do as their new leader?
Well, I made everybody a new hat.
We've learnt a bit about Happy and Strong, so I asked Mr. Tall about Mr. Small, who I thought was his best friend.
Yeah, I'll tell you everything you need to know about Mr. Small. A little red squash ball in a hat. Here's what his book says. Mr. Small was a tiny Mr. Man who lived in a tiny house at the bottom of a kindly old man's garden. That man was Mr. Robinson, a human. One day, Mr. Robinson tried to help Mr. Small find a job, but that didn't go well. So instead, he introduced Mr. Small to a writer of little white children's books. And the story that came from it was Mr. Small's book.
Did all that sound true to life from what you know? Being such good friends with Small?
Friends? No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, back then, people liked him. Even I liked him. But his story was always centred around himself and Mr. Robinson. Mr. Small's life was different from ours.
Did you ever meet this Mr. Robinson?
No, but Mr. Small speaks of him with a sort of reverence, almost like a kid talking about his dad. From what I've gathered, Robinson was a bit of a tragic figure. I think he'd lost someone, a child, maybe. He's probably a grandfather or an uncle, someone who'd once read Mr. Men books to a child.
Oh, that's awfully sad.
Yeah, it is. And in a way, it's like Mr. Robinson was rewarded with Mr. Small's companionship, almost like he kept him as a cherished pet. But it meant Small was entirely dependent on him. His life was constantly under threat, dodging cats and dogs, falling down stairs, getting kicked or stepped on by humans.
But he always had a safe place at Mr. Robinson's house, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Odd, isn't it? I mean, that he lived with both extremes, and it left him conflicted. Still is, I reckon. I've had little to do with humans, so I don't care much about them one way or the other.
What's he been saying about me? It's not true. Oh, he's a massive liar. He just wants to be more popular than me. Ha! But he's a third wave and I'm first, so it ain't gonna happen. And he's blue. Name someone blue, apart from Bossy, that's done anything to contribute to Mr. Men's society. You can't, because there isn't one, all right? Good.
Sorry, can I just steer you back to talking about the little white books? What was your opinion of them?
Well, the books were meant for kids. We were just CC'd. As a courtesy. There are Mr. Men, even now, after everything that's happened, they still cling on to those damn books like they're the holy history. My life would have been so much different had we not got them.
And your own book? Can you tell me about that?
Honestly, I thought the book made too big of a deal about me trying to get a job. Mr. Robinson just wanted me to be more independent and make friends. He didn't think the other Mr. Men were real like me. I don't know why.
Your book just shows a pair of legs at the door. Did you properly meet the author of the Mr. Men books?
Nah, real life was nothing like that. It all looked so simple and jolly, but it wasn't. Far from it. There was no internet back then. Did a lot of detective work to track down the publishers, and then he had to negotiate a meeting.
But the name on the books, was he the person you met? Was that Roger Hargreaves?
No, that's a made-up name. I told people that, but they were not having none of it. And eventually I got arrested for it.
Mr. Small breaks the fourth wall. The little white books are by the book. Collect them all, Mr. Small.
It was a tiny dark room with damp stone walls. A real, dungeon feel, you know? The room smelled dirty, like a stable.
And was Mr. Robinson with you?
No, he had to wait outside. It was over really quickly, and just as I was leaving, he said, "Don't come back here." But then he said,
"You're forgetting something, Mr. Small. Take this."
And he passed me my book.
So it was already written, even though it was only just happening. What I don't understand is that in your book, you're holding your own book. How do you explain all that?
Well, it's a Mr. Men book, isn't it?
Small, can you help me fill in a few blanks about that election? What do you remember?
Oh, it was all about Mr. Strong. It was like a triple humiliation. He was too small to win the size contest despite his best efforts, then relegated to a second wave for no reason at all, so not eligible to stand. But then, lo and behold, they give the job to a second wave person anyway, who was only about 90 minutes old. Honestly.
And Mr. Strong didn't have his own book, yeah? Do you know why?
Okay, right, let me explain. Most people get 2 or 3 days, a week at most, before we get sent a book about them. So when Mr. Strong's book failed to appear, people started asking questions, but I couldn't answer them, and in some cases, I was forced to lie.
But why was it you doing the lying and not Happy?
Can we talk about something else now? I've just come back from a visit to northern France. I could tell you about that if you like.
Back to Mr. Greedy.
Mr. Small used to make a big deal out of his connection to the wizard back in the day. He'd go on about how he could get the wizard to help you out, saying they met regularly. But nowadays, he's eager to play it all down a bit, like it was some kind of big fib. I mean, you can see why, can't you? With what happened with the wizards, what they did to us. As far as I know, the only one to take him up on the offer was Happy. He wrote a letter to the wizard for Small to deliver.
And this is Mr. Snow.
Happy told me the letter only asked for Mr. Strong to have his own book. I never saw it myself, but I assumed he left it to the wizard to decide who got bumped into the third wave.
That is absolute horseradish. If it was a random choice, why did Happy choose someone that looks like a miniature version of himself? Just wearing a hat.
So, I understand there was a letter to the wizard. Can you tell me what it said?
No way. Happy said if I read it, then a wizard would shrink me. He'd said he'd shrink me so much that no one would be able to talk to me. Not even Mr. Robinson.
And back to Mr. Tall.
Oh, I can assure you most of what Mr. Smalls told you is complete rubbish. Oh, Mr. Happy wrote me a letter. Did he? I mean, if there even was a letter, I bet Mr. Small wrote it himself. Probably said something like, "Dear Wizard, when the new waves arrive, don't bring in anyone my size. I want to stay in the spotlight."
Now back to Mr. Bump, who was there on the election day itself. I asked him about what he thought of the second wave newcomers.
Lazy was a bit annoying. So was Chatterbox.
You haven't yet mentioned Mr. Bounce.
Oh, I knew you'd get to this. Of course you would. Fine, let's talk about it. The problem was, Bounce wasn't there. He hadn't been on the bus. 11 Mr. Men stepped off that bus, but maybe no one was counting. So they all head to Snooty's place, right? And then, surprise, there are 12 suitcases.
Are you saying you think Bounce's suitcase was planted?
Exactly. It was all a distraction. At the perfect moment, someone opens Mr. Bounce's suitcase. Inside, little white books. And on the back of those books, the entire roster of Mr. Men, all neatly numbered. Suddenly, Strong was officially number 26. And guess what? Happy had just eliminated the competition.
So does that mean even though Small was standing against him, he was, in fact, working with Happy in some way?
What about Bounce? Small knew all the places that were dangerous to him. The drains, the mouse traps, the holes in the wall where someone small could get stuck. See? This was never just about Happy. It's about all the others who helped him. They worked together, and that's what made Happy dangerous, starting with Small. That whole wizard story? Completely made up. But if the book somehow created one of us, then Happy could decide who exists.
There's a moment when you realize the world isn't as kind or as simple as you thought, and it changes you forever. What once felt safe becomes complicated, and the magic of trusting without question fades into cautious doubt. It's not just the end of innocence. It's the beginning of knowing, and that's a heavier burden to carry. But anyway, come now, let's eat.
All friends together, the little Mr. and Mr. Man. All friends together, round and round we go. Back to back and side by side, on with the show.
In this, the second episode of Little White Books, Mr. Greedy was played by Pete Hazell, Strong was Jamie A, and Small was Mike Morris. Mr. Bump was Adam Grant. Tall was played by Darren O, Pete McGiffen was Snooty, and John Lewis played Mr. Forgetful, and Mr. Nosey was Benjamin Goff. And there was extra appearances by Chris Hirst-Bartlett, Jordan Wistubber, and Flute the Voice.
This production is unofficial and not connected to, approved by, or licensed by the rights holders of the Mr. Men and Little Miss characters. Mr. Men and Little Miss are trademarks of THOIP, a Sanrio company. All rights to the original characters and stories belong to them. You'll also hear versions of the theme song, All Friends Together, throughout the series. The original was written by Dave Cook.
Now go buy more Mr. Men books.